Leviathan Awakes, Book 1 of The Expanse by James S.A. Corey. This unabridged recording is narrated by Jefferson Mays. Sci-Fi Audio is an imprint dedicated exclusively to science fiction and fantasy titles on CD.
Ok, noi stiamo abbassando. Allora, questo è un tentativo. Mentre giochiamo, voi ascoltate questa musica, che non è musica, ma è un racconto. Questo è un tentativo. Mentre giochiamo, voi ascoltate questa musica, che non è musica, ma è un racconto. Ok, Starport Services. Vediamo che c'è per noi. Ok, Starport Services. Vediamo che c'è per noi.
Then pulled the environment suit off its hooks and onto the locker floor. Listening for any approaching sound, she slowly disassembled the suit and took out the water supply. It was old and stale. The suit obviously hadn't been used or serviced in ages. But she hadn't had a sip in days. And the warm, lonely water in the suit's reservoir bag was the best thing she had ever tasted. She had to work hard not to gulp it down and make herself vomit. On the urge to urinate returned, she pulled the catheter bag out of the suit and relieved herself into it. She sat on the floor, now cushioned by the padded suit and almost comfortable, and wondered who her captors were.
Maledizione, c'è un cazzo.
Pirates. Something worse.
Vabbè, lanciamo.
Sometimes she slept.
Possiamo saltare. Vediamo se c'è qualche nave che ci dà un lavorino. No, voglio scendere sui pianeti. Vogliamo una stazione. Scusa che me lo perdo. Dio, che caldo mortale. Secondo me è un'ideona. Quello deve un audiobook che fa così.
Giuseppe Perletta dice Xbox Audiobook libro 1.
Perché lo sento due volte? Perché sta stronza c'ha il volume appicciato. Porco due. Non me ne sono accorto adesso. Questo è uno di quei libri che mi fomenta per giocare a Elite.
Poison in the air. Something that forced an evacuation. She wondered if she'd be able to fly the ship by herself. But if they'd evacuated her, she'd have heard them going out the air. The one that led into the room had stopped when the hatch had opened automatically. A red light in the lock panel showed that the room had been sealed from the inside. She thought again about radiation and major failures. But if either of those was the case, why lock the door from the inside?
Ottimo,
She had
26.000.
wall panel after wall panel. None of them had been flashing warnings of any kind. No, not radiation. Something else. There was more disruption here. Blood. Tools and containers in disarray. Whatever had happened, it had happened here. No, it had started here. And it had ended behind that locked door. It took 2 hours with a torch and prying tools from the machine shop to cut through the hatch to engineering. With the hydraulics compromised, she had to crank it open by hand. A gust of warm, wet air blew out.
Sandcliffe questa.
Without the
Dimmi su. Ah, perfetto, Sandcliffe Subway.
nauseating smell. The torture chamber then. Her friends would be inside,
Nitbot.
beaten or cut
Dice.
to pieces.
Iscrivetevi alla nostra pagina FB per rimanere aggiornati e interagire con noi. https://www.facebook.com/glistorytellers.
I storytellers barra soprattutto.
Something like mud seemed to flow over the reactor core. Slowly.
Landing gear retracted. Frameshift drive charging. Ready to engage.
Potremmo andare a dare un'occhiata a Argoid volendo, però buh. Oh.
45 million on the moons of Jupiter. One moon of Uranus, 45,000.
Vediamo un po' queste però prima, dai. Guarda quante cosine esplorate.
Finished their generation shift and headed for the stars on freedom and procreation restrictions. And then there was the belt. You asked OPA recruiters when they were dropping from feeling expensive. They might say there were 100 million in the belt. Ask a Minute Planet census taker, it was nearer to 50 million.
Ok.
When's the last time we used the shuttle in that suite? Never. But regs say we needed just one motor. Hey, boss. Amos Burke. Aliens put the system together across the bay. We waved one meeting on to let one of the way.
Hey man.
Might be on Captain McDowell's ship. Holden might be executive officer. Only Naomi was boss. What's the matter? Naomi shouted back. Bad feeling. Can you hold this little fucker in place while I get the spare? Naomi looked at Holden. Are we done here? He snapped a sarcastic salute and she snorted, shaking her head as she walked away. Her frame long and thin in her greasy coveralls. 7 years in her community. 5 years working in space with civilians. We'd never gotten used to the long, thin, improbable bones of bellies. A childhood spent in gravity shaped the way we saw things forever. At the central lift, Holden held his finger briefly over the button for the navigation deck, tempted by the prospect of Ade Tufumbo. Her smile, her voice, the patchouli and vanilla scent she used in her hair. But press the button for the infirmary instead. Beauty, perfection. Shed Garvey, the medical chief, was hunched over his lab table, deep riding the stump of Cameron Padge's left arm when Holden walked in. A month earlier, Padge had gotten his elbow pinned by a 30-ton block of ice moving at 5 millimeters a second. It wasn't an uncommon use among people who were doing his job, security bystanders, and Padge was taking the whole thing with the fatalism of a professional. Holden leaned over Shed's shoulder to watch as the tech bucked under the medical mat outside the competition. What's the word? Holden asked. Padge said, I've still got a few nerves. Shed's been telling me about how the prosthetic is going to hook up to it. Assuming you can keep the necrosis under control, the man said, and make sure Padge doesn't hear out too much before we get the series. I checked the policy, and Padge here has been signed on long enough to get one with force feedback, pressure and temperature sensors, fine motor software, the whole package. It'll be almost as good as the real thing. The inner planets have a new biogel that regrows the limb, but that isn't covered in our medical plan. Fuck the Indians and fuck their magic job. I'd rather have a good Belgian-built fate than anything you bastards go in the lab. Just wearing that fancy on probably turns you into an asshole. Padge said. Then he added, no offense, etc. None taken. Just glad you're going to get your good stuff. Holden said. Tell him the other day, Padge said with a witty grin. Chet blushed. I've heard from other guys who've gotten it, Chet said, not meeting Holden's eyes. Apparently, there's a period while you're still building identification with the prosthetic when whacking off feels just like getting a hand job. Holden let the comment hang in the air for a second while Shed's ears turned crimson. Good to know, Holden said. And the necrosis? There's some infection.
Allora, vediamo un po'.
The maggots are keeping it under control, and the inflammation's actually a good thing in this context. So we're not fighting too hard unless it starts to spread. Is he going to be ready for the next run? Holden asked. For the first time, Padge frowned. Shit, yes. I'll be ready. I'm always ready. This is what I do, sir. Probably, Shed said. Depending on how the bomb takes. But not this one, the one after.
Che c'è, piccolino?
Pulled the headphones gently away from their ears and said, Ade smiled, tapped her sleeve,
Che c'è, piccolino?
pressed one of her long, slim legs.
Piccolino.
Executive Officer James Freedom, she said with an exaggerated smile, even more acute by her thick Nigerian accent. What can I do for you? You know, it's funny you should ask that, he said. I was just thinking how pleasant it would be to have someone come back to my cabin when the third shift takes up. Have a little romantic dinner at the same flat we're sitting in now. Isn't this amazing? Drink a little wine, she said. She glanced at it, tapped the release, and turned back to her. I like you. I mean, I really enjoy your company, he said. I don't understand why we can't spend some time together with our clothes on. Oh, sweetie, stop it. Stop what? Stop trying to turn me into a girl. You're a nice guy. You've got a cute laugh, and you're funny as silk. Doesn't mean we're engaged. Holden nodded back on his heels, feeling himself frown. Ade, for this to work for me, it needs to be more than that. But it isn't, she said, taking his hand. It's okay that it isn't. You're the XO here, and I'm a short time. Another run, maybe two, and gone. I'm not jealous. Her laughter was equal parts warm and disbelief. How long have you been with me? 5 years. You're not going anywhere, she said. You're comfortable here. Comfortable, he said. The cat's a century-old ice cream. You can find a shitty flower job, and you have to try really hard. Everyone here is either wildly underqualified or seriously screwed things up in their lifetime. And you're comfortable. Her eyes were less kind. She bent her leg, looked down at the screen, looked up. I didn't deserve that, he said. You didn't, she agreed. I told her I wasn't going to leave you. Please thank you. I need a good night's sleep. I'll be nice to you. Promise? I even let you do it.
Odio quando arrivo troppo veloce. po' di esplorazione oggi.
McDowell cracked his knuckles and stared at his display. The light from the screen gave him an odd, greenish cast. It's next to a charted non-belt asteroid, McDowell said. Really? Hogan said whisperingly. Did they run into it? There's nothing else out here for millions of kilometers. Maybe they pulled over because someone had to go potty. All we have is that some knucklehead is out there blasting an emergency signal and we're the closest to it. Assuming the law of the solar system was unequivocal. In an environment as hostile to life as space, the aid and goodwill of your fellow humans wasn't optional. The emergency signal was by existence obligated the nearest ship to stop and render aid, which didn't mean the law was universally followed. Well over 1 million tons of ice had been gently accelerated for the past month. Just like the little glacier that had crushed Patch's arm was going to be hard to slow down. The temptation to have an unexplained calm fade, erase the logs, and let the great god Darwin have his way was always there. But if McDowell had really intended it, he wouldn't have called Holden up, or made the suggestion that the crew would hear him. Holden understood the odds. The captain was going to be the one who would have blown it all, except for Holden. The grunts would respect the captain for not wanting to cut into the ship's property. They respect Holden for insisting that they blow it all. No matter what happened, the captain and Holden would both be paid for what they were required by the law and mere human decency to do. We have to stop, Holden said. Then Daniel. They're making sound. McDowell had to scream. Pade's voice came from the console, as low and worried as if she couldn't breathe. Big numbers on stopping this stroke, he said. Sir? How hard is it going to be to put us alongside Senior 2216-862? We're stopping at an asteroid? I'll tell you when you follow my order, Navigator Tukumbo. Yes, sir, she said. Holden heard a series of clicks. If we clip the ship right now and burn like hell for most of 2 days, I can get us within 50,000 kilometers, sir. Can you define burn like hell? McDowell said. We'll need everyone in crash couches. Of course we will. McDowell sighed and scratched his scruffy beard. And shifting ice is only going to be a couple $1 million worth of banging up the hull if we're lucky. I'm getting old for this, Holden. I really am. Yes, sir, you are. And I've always liked your chair, Holden said. McDowell scowled and made an obscene gesture. Rebecca snorted and laughed. McDowell turned to him. Send a message to the beacon that we're on our way, and let Ceres know we're going to be late. Holden, where does the mag stand? No flying in atmosphere will get some parts, but even flying to 50,000 clicks a vacuum. You sure of that? Naomi said it. Makes it true. McDowell rose, unfolded the arms to and fro the knees, and then looking the teenager back at the earth. Between his age and never having lived in the gravity field, the coming burn was likely to be hell for ordinary. Holden felt a pang of sympathy that he would never embarrass McDowell this person. Here's the thing, John, McDowell said, his voice flying out the one Holden could hear. We're required to stop and make an attempt. But we don't have to go out of our way, listen to me. We'll already have stopped, Holden said. And McDowell patted the air with his wide, spidery hands. One of the many Velcro gestures that had evolved to be visible when wearing an environment suit. I can't avoid it, he said. But if you see anything out there that seems odd, don't play hero again. Just pack up the toys and come on. And leave it for the next ship that comes through? And keep yourself safe, McDowell said. Order. Understood? Understood, Holden said. As the ship-wide comm system clicked to life and McDowell began explaining the situation to the crew, Holden imagined he could hear a chorus of groans coming up from the deck.
Quindi posso attrezzare questo anche la battaglia. Ottima idea.
Never said. The electrical motors hummed to life, and the car lurched forward into the tunnel, squishing foam tires scratching speakers. Having your out-world conversation in front of the earphones, Havelock said. I couldn't follow even half of it. That wasn't helpers keeping the FBI out. You see, that was poor folks keeping the educated out. And it was kind of fun, naturally. Havelock laughed. He could take being teased and keep on moving. It was what made him good at team sports, soccer, basketball, politics. Miller wasn't much good at laws. Sirius, the first city of indulged in the Alpha boasted 250 kilometers in diameter, tens of thousands of kilometers of tunnels in layer on layer on layer. Splitting it up to 0.3 G had taken the best minds of typo manufacturing half a generation, and it was still to be smart. Now, Sirius had more than 6 million permanent residents, as many as 1,000 ships docked at the end of the world, and upping the population to as high as 7 million. Platinum, cotton, and titanium from the north, water from south, vegetation beef from the big rarer-fed greenhouses on Ganymede and Europa, organics from Earth and Mars, power cells from Iowa, helium-3 from the refineries on Rhea and Diana.
Pippi, Rocky Body.
Where there was commerce from that country, there was also crime. Where there was crime, there were security forces to keep it in check. Men like Miller and Havelock, whose business it was to track the electric bugs up the wide ramps, feel the pulse of every spin from their communities, and ask low-rent blitz whores about what happened to Mount Foley Chevy and the stock electric protection order for the Golden Bough Society. The primary station house was star-rated security, police force and military garrison for the Sirius station, was on the third level from the asteroid skateboard, 2 kilometers square, and dug into the rock so high Miller could walk from his desk up 5 levels without ever leaving the offices. Havelock tuned in the car, while Miller went to his cubicle, downloaded the recording of their interview with the girl, and revamped it. He was halfway through when his partner hopped out behind him. Learn anything? Havelock asked. Not much, Miller said. Bomey got jumped by a bunch of unaffiliated local thugs. Sometimes a low-level guy like Bomey will hire people to pretend to attack him so he can heroically fight them off. Ups his reputation. That's what she meant when she called it a dance move. The guys that went after him were like down. Instead of turning into a major badass, Bomey ran away as he got back. And now nothing, Miller said. That's what I don't get. Someone took out a Golden Bough person and they played poker. I mean, okay, Bomey's a bottom feeder player. But once they start eating these little guys, that's money on top of the big guys. Havelock said. So why hasn't Golden Bough done some crazy adjustment? I don't get it. Havelock nodded. Belgians, he said. One thing goes weird, ecosystems crashing. If the Golden Bough's too weak to keep its flames, that's a good thing. They're the bad guys, remember? Yeah, well, Miller said. Say what you will about organized crime, at least it's organized. Havelock said.
Via, verso stati i sistemi.
Okay, Havelock said. What the hell is that forgotten arm? Boxing term, Miller said. It's the hit we didn't see coming. The computer chimed and Captain Jardine's voice came from the speakers. Miller, are you there? Havelock said. Bad omen. What? The captain asked, her voice cloth tapestries hung from the walls, and the scent of coffee and cinnamon came from an insert in her air filter that cost about a tenth of what the real foodstuffs were. She wore her uniform casually, her hair down around her shoulders in violation of corporate regulations. If Miller had ever been called upon to describe her, the phrase deceptive coloration would have figured in. She nodded to her chair, to be said. What have you found? She asked, but her gaze was on the wall behind her. This wasn't a common phrase. She was just making conversation. Golden Bow's looking the same as Sir Hero's crew and the local Grego. Still on station, but distracted, said the fellow. They're letting little things slide. Fewer thugs in the ground, less enforcement. I've got half a dozen mid-level guys who get better. It caught her attention. Killed? She asked. An OPA advance. Was the constant boogeyman for serious security. Living in the tradition of Al Capone and Hamas, the IRA and the Red Marshals, the OPA was beloved by the people it helped and feared by the ones who got in its way. Part social movement, part wannabe nation, and part terrorist network, it totally lacked an institutional conscience. Captain Shadid might not like having the presence from down the gravity well, but she booked it. The OPA would have put him to marriage. People like Miller would only rate getting a bullet in the sky, and as plastic white hair. Nothing that might distract him from the darkness. I don't think so, he said. It doesn't smell like it. Honestly, sir, I don't know what the hell it is. The numbers are great. Protection's down, unlicensed gambling's down. Cooper and Hariri shut down the underage whorehouse up on 6, and as far as anyone can tell, it hasn't started up again. There's a little more action by independents, but that aside, it's all looking great. It just smells funny. She nodded, but her gaze was back on the road. He'd lost her interest as quickly as he'd gone. Well, put it aside, she said. I have something. New contract. Just you. Not happy. Miller crossed his arms. New contract, he said slowly. Meaning Star Helix Security has accepted a contract for services separate from the series security assignment. And in my role as site manager for the corporation, I'm assigning you to it. I'm fired, he said. Captain Shadid looked pale. It's additional duty, she said. You'll still have the series assignments you have now. It's just that in addition, look, I think this is the shit. I'm not putting you upstage. I'm not taking you up the main contract. This is a favor someone down on Earth is doing for a shareholder. We're doing favors for shareholders now? Miller asked. You are, yes, Captain Shadid said. The softness was gone. The conciliatory tone was gone. Her eyes were dark as red stone. Right then, Miller said. Guess I am. Captain Shadid held out her hand gently. Miller fumbled at his side, pulled out his own, and accepted the narrow beam transfer. Whatever this was, Shadid was keeping it off the common network. A new file labeled JNAO appeared on his reader. It's a little lost daughter place, Captain Shadid said. Ariadne and Jules Pierre Mao. The names rang a bell. Miller pressed his fingertips onto the screen of his hand. Mao put a Palestine mercantile? He asked. The one. Miller whistled no. Mauquick might not have been one of the top 10 corporations in the belt, but it was certainly in the upper 50. Originally, it had been a legal firm involved in the epic failure of the Venusian cloud cities. They'd used the money from that decades-long lawsuit to diversify and expand, mostly into interplanetary transport. Now the corporate station was independent, floating between the belt and the inner planets with the regal majesty of an ocean two older children with controlling interests, so if Julie wanted to bounce around vacuum, calling herself a freedom fighter, there was no real harm. But now they wanted back. Very simple. They did. What changed? They didn't see fit to share her age. Right. Last record shows she was employed on Tycho Station and that maintained an apartment here. I found a partition on the network and locked it down. The password is in your file. Okay, Mother said. What's my contract? Find Julie Mao, detain her, and ship her home. A kidnap job, then, he said. Yes. Miller stared down at his hand terminal, flicking the files open without particularly looking at them. A strange knot had tied itself in his place. He'd been working Sirius security for 30 years, and he hadn't started with many illusions in place. The joke was that Sirius didn't have laws, it had police. His hands weren't any cleaner than Captain Shadid's. Sometimes mischief was done out airtight. Sometimes evidence vanished from the lot. It wasn't so much that it was right or wrong, as that it was justified. You spent your life in a stone bubble with your food, your water, your air shipped in from places so distant you could barely find it with a telescope, and a certain moral flexibility was necessary. But he'd never had to take a kidnap job before. Problem, Detective? Captain Shadid asked. No, sir, he said. I'll take care of it. Don't spend too much time on it, she said. Yes, sir. Anything else? Captain Shadid's hard eyes softened, like she was putting on a mask. She smiled. Everything going well with your partner? Havelock's all right, Miller said. Having him around makes people like me better by contrast. That's nice. Her smile's only change was to become half a degree more genuine. Nothing like a little shared racism to build ties with the boss. Miller nodded respectfully and headed out. His hole was on the 8th level, off a residential tunnel 100 meters wide with 50 meters center. The main corridor's vaulted ceiling was lit by recessed lights and painted a blue that Havelock assured him matched the Earth's summer sky. Living on the surface of a planet, mass sucking at every bone and muscle and nothing but gravity to keep your air close, seemed like a fast path to crazy. The blue was nice, though. Some people followed Captain Shadid's lead by perfuming their air. Not always with coffee and cinnamon scents, of course. Havelock's hole smelled of baking bread. Others opted for floral scents or semi-pheromones. Candace, Miller's ex-wife, had preferred something called Earth Lily, which had always made him think of the waste recycling levels. These days, he left it at the vaguely astringent smell of the station itself. Recycled air that had passed through a million lungs. Water from the tap so clean it could be used for lab work.
Incoming
But it
mission
had been
critical
piss and
message.
shit and tears and blood, and would be again. The circle of life on Ceres was so small you could see the curve. He liked it that way. He poured a glass of Moss whiskey, a native Ceres liquor made from engineered yeast, then took off his shoes and settled onto the foam bed. He could still see Candace's disapproving scowl and hear her sigh. He shrugged apology to her memory and turned back to work. Juliet Andromeda Mao. He read through her work history, her academic records. Talented pinnace pilot. There was a picture of her at 18 in a tailored vac suit with the helmet on. Pretty girl with a thin, lunar citizen's friend. She was grinning like the universe had given her a kiss.
Frameshift drive
The
charging.
text said she'd won first place in something called the Parish Dawn 500K. He searched briefly. Some kind of race only really rich people could afford to fly in. Her pinnace, the Razorback had beaten the previous record and held it for 2 years.
Rieccoci. Saltato il gioco, ogni tanto lo fa.
Frameshift drive charging.
A long way from competing in expensive space races.
Ready to engage.
Spanman 23. Welcome to my channel.
Welcome to my channel, guys. Spamman, welcome. Frena, 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 cazzo. Spamman. Ta-na-na-na-na. Porco due. No, cazzo! Ma che cazzo gli ha detto di farvi la cruisi? Shit.
We got a pilot yet? She asked. Alex Kamal is on the ready rotation today, so he's our man. I kind of wish Volker could.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Il risultato è che ho dei piedi di merda, che non si trovano delle scarpe e che sto tornando indietro. Prendo giusto Maria, Tommaso ed Eva da casa della nonna lì, della mamma, e torno indietro. Poi ci prendiamo un gelatino? Che dici?
Va bene.
Giuseppe Perletta. Dice. IAM Beck.
We need a flight plan. Ade will be bringing us to relative stop in... He checked the time. Good. So we're fast. Now get out, get it done, and get the plan back on course to Sirius before he starts rusting. Roger that. Holding test. Jen, go to the scene. Ellis and Shannon aboard. We're all ready. Thanks, just waiting on flight numbers from Alex and we'll be ready to go. The crew was the minimum necessary. Holden is commanding. Alex to Duckenberry and Chad in case there were survivors. Naomi and Amos were salvaged to protect. It wasn't long before Alex called down. Okay, boss, it'll be about a 4-hour trip flying Chico. Total mass use about 30%, but we've got a full tank. Total mission time, 11 hours. Copy that, thanks Alex. Holden said. Flying TK was naval slang for flying in removal thrusters that used superheated steam for reaction units. The Knight's fusion torch would be dangerous to use this close to the capital, and wasteful on such a short trip. Torches were pre-Epstein fusion drives and far less efficient. Calling for permission to leave the bomb, Holden said, and he flipped from the return column to a link to the Capitol's bridge. Holden here. Knight is ready to fly. Okay, Jim, go ahead, McDowell said. Ade's bringing her to a stop now. You kids be careful out there. That shuttle's expensive, and I've always sort of had a thing for Naomi. Roger that, Captain, Holden said. Back on the internal comm, we buzzed Alex. Go ahead and take us out. Holden leaned back in his chair and listened to the creaks of the Capital's final maneuvers. The steel and ceramics as loud and ominous as the wood planks of a steam chair. Ford waited to join us. For a moment, Holden felt sympathy for the ship's pilot. They weren't really stopping. Nothing was close and gradually stopped. It only came into imagined orbit with some other object. They were now following CA-2216.
Cacchio, l'abbiamo esplorato tutto adesso. Quello dentro 50 anni luce per iniziare a registrare, vero? Ok, abbiamo fatto tutto.
Got it, boss. Knightson, run like a bunny mode till you say otherwise. That's reply. Holden looked over the command console one more time, searching for the flashing log warning light that would give him permission to look. Everything remained a soft green. He popped open his bucket and shoved himself out of the chair. A push on the wall with one foot sent him through the ladder and descended headfirst through the gentle arches of the lungs. In the crew area, Naomi, Amos, and Shed were still strapped to the crash benches. Holden caught the ladder and swung around so that his crew could look upside down. They started on board for swings. Okay, here's the situation. The Scapuli got hold and someone left it floating next to us right. No one is on the slopes, so that means it happened a while ago on the left. Naomi, you be driving the salvage mat, and the three of us will tether on and catch a ride down the road. Shed, you stay with the mech unless we find an injured person or see anyone. Amos and I will go into the ship without holding and poke around. If we find anything even remotely booby trap-like, we'll come back to the mech. Naomi will fly us back to the night, and we will run away. Any questions? Then this way is one big panic. Maybe we ought to be armed, that's all, in case there's pirating types still lurking aboard. Holden laughed. Well, if there are, then their ride left without them. But if it makes you feel more comfortable, go ahead and bring it down. If the big burly opal mechanic is carrying the job, we'll make him feel better too. We better not
Io adesso voglio sapere tutto di questo Maxi Morales, miei cari, ma c'è un esperto qui, Federico Buffa, perché innanzitutto sei proprio esperto di cazzo?
Mi piace molto il football argentino, adesso so chi fa gli attuali del football argentino. Però adesso
Molto più legata alle nazionali che al campionato.
adesso quali sono i soprannomi che si danno nel calcio? Difficilmente c'è un soprannome di quelli che viene
E il Pupone, che ne so.
buono. Secondo me quanti del fantasia usano un po'. Il soprannome di Maxi Morales e il Franchito. Il Franchito sarebbe un baraccino di martellate. La mamma dà al bambino la mattina a colazione. Ma il Franchito, al di là della struttura, ha anche un strano. Tanto che si muove fra Franchito e un uomo
Una fantasia veramente su...
That's all, Holden said. The crew helped each other put on and secure their helmets. Everyone checked their own suit and then someone else's. When the cargo doors opened, it would be too late to make sure they were buttoned up right. While Naomi climbed into the deck, Amos, Holden, and Shed secured their suit tethers to the cockpit's metal cage. Naomi checked the map, and then hit the switch to cipher the cargo bay's atmosphere and open the doors. Sound inside Holden's suit faded to just the hiss of wind and a stop. The air was slight medicine smell. Naomi went first, taking the net down toward the asteroid surface in small jets of compressed nitrogen. The crew trailing her and flew the long tails. As they flew, Holden looked back up at the night. A blocky, glaring glare from the drive vane stuck in the lumber arm. Like everything else humans built for spacecraft, it was designed to be efficient, not friendly. That always made Holden a little sad. There should be room for things, even on good ground. The night sea would drifted over, getting smaller and smaller while he... The illusion vanished.
Lacron Alpha, November Golf. Please note this station is under Imperial sovereignty. All regulations must be observed during docking procedures.
Ona Play. Welcome to my channel.
Welcome! Chiunque tu sia.
You will need to restrict
Okay, mate. Welcome, guys.
safe operating limits, Commander. Approval is granted. at your earliest convenience to pad 06.
Oh, che cazzo è che viene attaccato? Psst.
Please maintain current vector, Commander.
Numero! Ok. Hey man, how are you? Start full service.
Docking complete. You may alight when ready. The services of this Imperial facility are at your disposal, Commander.
Ayman.
What's your first XO? Famous eyes. Holden tapped on his thigh with one hand and thought. Engineering. I want to know why the reactors are up now. They took the crew now, climbing along it toward the aft of the ship. All the pressure doors between decks were open, which was a bad sign. They should all be closed, of course. And certainly with the atmosphere loss alarm set.
27, 30,
There were no decks with atmosphere left in the ship.
15, 17, 30, 15.
Not a surprise, but it still felt like a defeat.
Ehi, cazzo.
They passed through the small ship quickly, pausing in the machine shop. Expensive engine parts and tools were still in place.
Nitbot.
Guess it
Dice.
was a robbery.
Iscrivetevi alla nostra pagina FB per rimanere aggiornati e interagire con noi.
But the question
https www.facebook.com/glistorytellers.
Culo.
Holden
An outpost.
was looked it over, spending at least 10 minutes just floating around the reactor.
Basta,
Someone went
cazzo
through the
di mosca
shutdown
di merda.
procedures, Amos said. The reactor wasn't killed by the blast, it was turned off afterward. No damage that I can see. Don't make sense. If everyone is dead from the attack, who shut it down? And if it's pirates, why not take the ship? Just still fly. And before they turned off the power, they went through and opened every interior pressure door on the ship. Emptied out the air. I guess they wanted to make sure no one was home, Holden said. Okay, let's head back up to Ops and see if we can crack the computer core. Maybe it can tell us what to do. They floated back toward the bow along the crew ladder and up to the ops deck. It too was undamaged and empty.
Giusto per vedere il passenger lounge.
Starting to bother Holden more than the presence of the unit. He floated over to the main computer console and hit a few keys to see if it might still be running ahead as the rest of the ship. He found the ship's beacon. No one had activated it. Something
Questo
else.
ne vale 152.
Holden moved back, frowned. He looked through the space, searching for something in his place. There, on the deck beneath the comm operator's console, a small black box, not connected to anything else. His heart took a long pause between beats. He called out to Amos. Does that look like a bomb to you? Amos ignored
Odio atterrare sui cazzo di pianeti.
radio link back on. Amos, does that look like a bomb to you? He pointed at the box on the deck. Amos left his work on the computer and floated over to look. Then, in a move that made Holden's throat close, grabbed the box off the deck. This
Your ship is released. Be careful to observe restrictions when leaving the station.
never even turned on. Someone Why did they do that, sir? That don't make no kind of sense. But what if there's something about this transmitter that's different from standard? Holden said.
You are all clear to follow your predetermined flight path. The Imperial Flight Operations Bureau wishes you a fond farewell.
Little was happening in his evening. The system was full. He glanced inside.
Freight drive charging.
Car came with constant X-ray non-citizens of Syria advertised themselves as agents. Many spurred forward by only the licensed prostitutes and a screen popped open.
Ok, facciamo il pieno.
Fuel complete.
Ah, non devo atterrare, è un outpost spaziale. Speriamo.
Too tall to be mistaken for an earth giant. Her limbs longer and thinner. Her skin had the pink flush of Belgian veins, which came with the pharmaceutical cocktail that assured that their muscles and bones would grow strong. Miller saw that Father noticed his attention. Miller smiled and nodded toward the kid. How old are you? He asked. 2.5. The father said. Good age. The father shrugged, but he smiled. Kids? He asked. No, Miller said. But I've got a divorce about that. They chuckled together as if they spoke. In his imagination, Candace crossed her arms and looked away. The soft, oil-infusing scented breeze announced that she was gone. Miller let Father in.
Starport Services.
Miller saw that the short, stocky men and women were nearer a third. Ship come in? He asked. Yeah. EMCN? He asked. The Earth-Mars Coalition Navy often passed through cities on its way
Ah,
planets
no.
to know where the orbits all stood. Pavlov shook his head. Corporate security rotating out of Eros, he said. Protogen, I think. A servant girl appeared at Miller's side. Tattoos gliding over her skin, her teeth glowing in the black light. Miller took the drink she offered him, though he hadn't ordered. Soda water. You know, Miller said, leaning close enough to Havelock that even his normal conversational voice would reach the man. It doesn't matter how many of their asses you kick. Shadid's still not going to like you. Havelock snapped to stare at Miller, the anger in his eyes barely covering the shame he hurt. It's true, Miller said. Havelock rose, lurching to his feet, and headed for the door. He was trying to stomp, but in the series' spin gravity and his inebriated state, he misjudged. It looked like he was hopping. Miller, glass in hand, slid through the crowd in Havelock's wake, calming with a smile and a shrug the affronted faces that his partner left behind him. The common tunnels down near the fort had a layer of grime and grease to them that air scrubbers and astringent cleaners could never quite master. Havelock walked out, shoulders hunched, mouth tight, rage radiating from him like heat.
Ciao!
The blue frog closed behind him, the seal cutting off the music.
Federica è tornata.
The worst of the danger had passed. I'm not drunk, Havelock said, his voice too loud. Did he say you were? And you, Havelock said, turning and stabbing an accusing finger at Miller's chest. You are not my Manny. Also true. They walked together for maybe a quarter of a kilometer. The bright LED signs beckoned. Brothels and shooting galleries, coffee bars and poetry clubs, casinos and show fights. The air smelled like piss and old food.
Va bene, mi si sono mangiati le zanzare. Vuoi dire una notizia che non si può dire? Aspetta. I'm sure there are all kinds of differences. Earth hates Mars for better food, Mars hates Earth. Maybe soccer's better in Fiji, maybe it's worse in London. I'm just saying, anyone this far out from the sun, I don't care. From this distance, I can cover Earth and Mars with one thumb. And I don't belong, Havelock said. The door of the noodle bar behind them opened. Four belters in whirlpool uniforms came out. One of them wore the split circle of the OPA in his sleeve. Miller tensed. The belters didn't look too good. Havelock didn't notice them. Miller said, I knew, Havelock said. When I took the Star Helix contract, I knew I'd have to work on it. I thought it'd be the same as anywhere, you know? You go, you get your chops busted for a while. Then, when they see you can take it, they treat you like one of the team. It's not like that. It's not. Havelock shook his head, spat and stared at the glass in his hand. I think we just stole some
Vabbè, sto contento per lei. Ho l'audiobook dentro le orecchie di XBOX1. È un'idea secondo me. Sentilo, dimmi come... Che ne pensi? No, nella diretta. Oh, al massimo che ci può succedere è che ci leva una monetizzazione, tanto non famo i soldi, quindi... Dici che devo alzare?
Security, but some of the minor corporate forces, Protogene, Pinkwater, a la Beak, hung out there too. Miller was more than half certain that his partner's latest breakdown had been averted. But if he was wrong, better to keep it in the family. The decor was pure belt. Old-style ship's folding tables and chairs set into the wall and ceiling, as if the gravity might shut off at any moment. Snake plant and devil's ivy, staples of
Che la pensi così?
air recycling, decorated the wall and freestanding columns. The music was soft enough to talk over, loud enough to keep private conversations private. The first owner, Javier Liu, was a structural engineer from Tycho who'd come out during the big spin and liked series enough to stay. His grandchildren ran it now. Javier III
Come
was
stanno i
standing
bimbi?
behind the bar talking with half of the vice and exploitation team. Miller led the way to a back table, nodding to the men and women he knew as he passed. While he'd been careful and diplomatic at the Blue Frog, he chose a bluff masculinity here. It was just as much a pose. So, Havelock said as Javier's daughter Kate, a fourth generation for the same bar, left the table, Blue Frog glasses on her tray. What is this super-secret private investigation Shadid put you on?
Non lo sai il
Or is
nome
the
bene.
lowly earther not supposed to know? Is that what got to you? Miller asked. It's nothing. Some shareholders misplaced their daughter and want me to track her down, ship her home. It's a bullshit case. Sounds more like their backyard, Havelock said, nodding toward the V&E crowd. Kid's not a minor, Miller said. It's a kidnap job. And you're good with that? Miller sat back. The ivy above them waved. Havelock waited, and Miller had the uncomfortable sense that a table had just been turned. It's my job, Miller said. Yeah, but we're talking about an adult here, right? It's not like she couldn't go back home if she wanted to be there. But instead, her parents get security to take her home whether she wants to go or not. That's not law enforcement anymore. It's not even station security. It's just dysfunctional families playing power games. Miller remembered the thin girl beside her racing pinnace. Her broad smile. I told you it was a bullshit case, Miller said. Kate Liu returned to the table with a local beer and a glass of whiskey on her tray. Miller was glad for the distraction. The beer was his, light and rich and just the faintest bit bitter. An ecology based on yeasts and fermentation meant subtle brews. Havelock was nursing his whiskey. Miller took it as a sign that he was giving up on his bender. Nothing like being around the boys from the office to take the charm out of losing control. Hey, Miller, Havelock, a familiar voice said. Yevgeny Cobb from Homicide. Miller waved him over, and the conversation turned to the homicides bragging about the resolution of a particularly ugly case.
No.
Figuring out where the toxins came from, ending with the corpse's wife awarded the full insurance settlement and a gray market whore deported back to Eros. By the end of the night, Havelock was laughing and trading jokes along with the rest of them. If there was occasionally a narrowed glance or a subtle dig, he took it in stride. Miller was on his way up to the bar for another round when his terminal chimed. And then, slowly throughout the bar, 50 other chimes sounded. Miller felt his belly knot as he and every other security agent in the place pulled out their terminals. Captain Shadid was on the broadcast screen. Her eyes were bleary and filled with banked rage. She was the very picture of a woman of power wakened early from sleep. "Ladies and gentlemen," she said, "whatever you're doing, drop it and go to your stations for emergency orders. We have a situation." 10 minutes ago, an unencrypted, signed message came in from the rough direction of Saturn. We haven't confirmed it is true, but the signature matches the keys on record. I've put a hold on it, but we can assume some asshole's going to put it on the network, and the shit should hit the fan about 5 minutes after that. If you're in earshot of a civilian, turn off now. For the rest of you, here's what we're up against. Shadid moved to one side,
Ti è piaciuto quello che ho
tapping
scritto?
her system interface. The screen went black. A moment later, a man's face and shoulders appeared. He was in an orange vacuum suit with the helmet off. An earther, maybe in his early 30s. Pale skin, blue eyes, dark, short-cropped hair. Even before the man opened his mouth, Miller saw the signs of shock and rage in his eyes and the way he held his head forward. "My name," the man said, "is James Holden."
Landing gear deployed.
Chapter 5. Holden. 10 minutes at 2G, and Holden's head was already starting to ache. But McDowell had called them home at all haste. The Canterbury was warming up its massive drive. Holden didn't want to miss his ride. "Jim, we may have a problem out here. Talk to me. Becca found something, and it is sufficiently weird to make my balls creep up. We're getting the hell out of here." "Alex, how long?" Holden asked for the third time in 10 minutes. "We're over an hour out. Want to go on the juice?" Alex said. Going on the juice was pilot speak for a high-G burn that would knock an unmedicated human unconscious. The juice was the cocktail of drugs the pilot's chair would inject into him to keep him conscious, alert, and hopefully stroke-free when his body weighed 500 kilos. Holden had used the juice on multiple occasions in the Navy, and coming down afterward was unpleasant. "Not unless we have to," he said. "What kind of weird?" "Becca, link him up. Jim, I want you to see what we're seeing." Holden tongued a painkiller tab from his suit's helmet and reran Becca's sensor feed for the 5th time. The spot in space lay about 200,000 kilometers from the Canterbury. As the Cant had scanned it, the readout showed a fluctuation, the gray-black false color gradually developing a warm border. It was a small temperature climb, less than 2 degrees. Holden was amazed Becca had even spotted it. He reminded himself to give her a glowing review the next time she was up for promotion. "Where did that come from?" Holden asked. "No idea. It's just a spot faintly warmer than the background," Becca said. "I'd say it was a cloud of gas because we get no radar return from it. But there aren't supposed to be any gas clouds out here. I mean, where would it come from?" "Jim, any chance the scopuli killed the ship that killed it? Could it be a vapor cloud from a destroyed ship?" McDowell asked. "I don't think so, sir. The scopuli is totally unarmed. The hole in her side came from breaching charges, not torpedo fire, so I don't think they even fought back. It might be where the scopuli vented, but... or maybe not. Come back to the barn, Jim. Do it now." "Naomi, what slowly gets hotter that gives no radar or LADAR return when you scan it?" "Wild-ass guess here," Holden said. Naomi said, giving herself time to think. Anything that was absorbing the energy from the sensor package wouldn't give a return, but it might get hotter when it shed the absorbed energy. The infrared monitor on the sensor console next to Holden's chair flared like the sun. Alex swore loudly over the general comm. "Are you seeing that?" he said. Holden ignored him and opened a channel to McDowell. "Captain, we just got a massive IR spike," Holden said. For long seconds, there was no reply. When McDowell came on the channel, his voice was tight. Holden had never heard the old man sound afraid before. "Jim, a ship just appeared in that warm spot. It's radiating heat like a bastard," McDowell said. "Where the hell did that thing come from?" Holden started to answer, but then heard Becca's voice coming faintly through the captain's headset. "No idea, sir, but it's smaller than its heat signature. Radar shows frigate-sized," she said. "With what?" McDowell said. "Invisibility? Magical wormhole teleportation?" "Sir," Holden said, "Naomi was speculating that the heat we picked up might have come from energy-absorbing materials, stealth materials, which means that ship was hiding on purpose, which means its intentions are not good." As if an answer, 6 new objects appeared on his radar, glowing yellow icons appearing and immediately shifting to orange as the system marked their acceleration. On the Canterbury, Becca yelled out, "Fast movers. We have 6 new high-speed contacts on a collision course." "Jesus H. Christ on a pogo stick, did that ship just fire a spread of torpedoes at us?" McDowell said. "They're trying to slap us down?" "Yes, sir," Becca said. "Time to contact." "Just under 8 minutes, sir," she replied. McDowell cursed under his breath. "We've got pirates, Jim." "What do you need from us?" Holden said, trying to sound calm and professional. "I need you to get off the radio and let my crew work. You're an hour out at best. The torpedoes are 8 minutes. McDowell out," the captain said, his comm clicking off and leaving Holden listening to the faint hiss of static. The general comm exploded with voices. Alex demanding to go on the juice and race the torpedoes to the camp. Naomi chattering about missile jamming strategies. Amos cursing at the stealth ship and questioning the parenting of its crew. Che was the only quiet one. "Everyone shut up," Holden yelled into his headset. The ship fell into shocked silence. "Alex, plot the fastest course to the camp that won't kill us. Let me know when you have it. Naomi, set up a 3-way channel with Becca, you, and me. We'll help however we can. Amos, keep cussing, but turn your mic off." He waited. The clock ticked toward impact. "Link is up," Naomi said. Holden could hear 2 distinct sets of background noise over the comm channel. "Becca, this is Jim. I've got Naomi on this channel too.
Atterriamo a Ruo e we call the day per questa volta. Poi mi hanno invitato alla beta di Path of Exile. Path of Exile stasera c'è Sea of Thieves e forse riusciamo a registrare, forse però, è molto obbligatorio, ti vedo già sorride, non sei pronta, lo vedo. Vabbè, almeno studia, io vorrei fare.
While Naomi and Becca talked, Jim opened a private channel to Ade. "Hey, this is Jim. I have Alex working on a fast burn solution so we can get there before the missiles turn us into a flying brick. Good idea. Taken by pirates isn't something you want to miss," Ade said. He could hear the fear behind the mocking tone. "Ade, please, I want to say something." "Jim, what do you think?" Naomi said on the other channel. Holden cursed. To cover, he said, about which thing?" "Using the night to try and draw those missiles," Naomi said. "Can we do that?" he asked. "Maybe. Were you listening at all?" Something happened here, drew my attention for a minute. Tell me again," Holden said. "We try to match the frequency of the light scatter coming off the cant and broadcast it with our comm array. Maybe the torpedoes will think we're the target instead," Naomi said like she was speaking to a child. "And then they come blow us up? I'm thinking we run away while pulling the torpedoes toward us. Then when we get them far enough past the cant, we kill the comm array and try to hide behind the asteroid," Naomi said. "Won't work," Holden said with a sigh. "They follow the targeting laser scatter for general guidance, but they also take telescope shots of the target on acquisition. They'll take one look at us and know we aren't their target. Isn't it worth a shot? Even if we manage it, torpedoes designed to disable the cant would make us into a greasy stretch of vacuum." "All right," Naomi said. "What else have we got?" "Nothing." Very smart boys in the naval labs have already thought of everything we're going to think of in the next 8 minutes, Holden said. Saying it out loud meant admitting it to himself.
Gli hai risposto a questi?
Then what are we doing here, Jim? Naomi
Sara De
asked.
Novellis?
7 minutes, Becca
Siamo una
said,
comitiva.
her voice still eerily calm. Let's get there. Maybe we can get some people off the ship after it's hit. Help with damage control, Holden said. Alex, got that plot figured out? Roger that, XO. Bleeding G, burn and flip laid in. Angled approach course so our torch won't burn a hole in the cant. Time to rock and roll? Alex replied. Yeah. Naomi, get your people strapped in for high G, Holden said, then opened up a channel to Captain McDowell. Captain, we're coming in hot. Try to survive and we'll have the night on station for pickup or to help with damage control. Roger, McDowell said, and killed the line. Holden opened up his channel to Ade again. Ade, we're going to burn hard so I won't be talking, but leave this channel open for me, okay? Tell me what's happening. Hell, hum. Humming is nice. I just really need to hear you're all right. Okay, Jim, Ade said. She didn't hum, but she left the channel open. He could hear her breathing. Alex began the countdown over the general comm. Holden checked the straps on his crash couch and palmed the button that started the juice. A dozen needles stuck into his back through membranes in his suit. His heart shuddered, and chemical bands of iron gripped his
Welcome to
brain.
my channel.
His spine went dead
Big
cold.
Boss, welcome.
His face flushed like a radiation burn. He pounded a fist into the arm of the crash couch. He hated this part, but the next one was worse. On the general comm, Alex whooped as the drugs hit his system. Below decks, the others were getting the drugs that kept them from dying, but kept them sedated through the worst of it. Alex said, 1. And Holden weighed 500 kilos. The nerves at the back of his eye socket screamed at the massive load of his eyeballs. His testicles crushed themselves against his thighs. He concentrated on not swallowing his tongue. Around him, the ship creaked and groaned. There was a disconcerting bang from below decks, but nothing on his panel went red. The Knight's torch drive could deliver a lot of thrust, but at the cost of a prodigious fuel burn rate. But if they could save the cant, it wouldn't matter. Over the blood pounding in his ears, Holden could hear Ade's gentle breathing and the click of her keyboard. He wished he could just go to sleep to that sound, but the juice was singing and burning in his blood. He was more awake than he'd ever been. Yes, sir, Ade said over the comm. It took Holden a second to realize she was talking to McDowell. He turned up the volume to hear what the captain was saying. The main's online, full power. We're fully loaded, sir. If we try to burn that hard, we'll tear the drive right off the mounts, Ade replied. McDowell must have asked her to fire up the Epstein. Mr. Tukumbo, McDowell said, we have 4 minutes. If you break it, I won't bill you. Yes, sir. Bringing mains online. Setting for maximum burn, Ade said. And in the background, Holden could hear the high G warning klaxon. There was a louder clicking as Ade strapped herself in. Mains online in 3, 2, 1, execute, Ade said. The Canterbury groaned so loud, Holden had to turn the comm volume down.
Ok, signori.
Groaned and shrieked like a banshee for several seconds, and then there was a shattering crash. He pulled up the exterior visual, fighting against the G-induced blackout at the edge of his vision. The Canterbury was in one piece. Ade, what the hell was that? McDowell said, his speech slurred.
Siamo carucci, dai,
The
come
drive tearing
suona
a strut. Mains are offline, sir, Ade replied, not saying exactly like I said would happen. What did that buy us? McDowell asked. Not much. The torpedoes are now at over 40 clicks a second and accelerating. We're down to maneuvering thrusters, Ade said. Shit, McDowell said. They're going to hit us, sir, Ade said. Jim, McDowell said, his voice suddenly loud over the direct channel he'd opened. We're going down. and there's no way around it. Click twice to acknowledge. Jim clicked his radio twice. Okay, so now we need to think about surviving after the hit. If they're looking to cripple us before boarding, they'll take out our drive and our comm array. Becca's been broadcasting an SOS ever since the torpedoes were fired, but I'd like you to keep yelling if we stop. If they know you're out there, they are less likely to toss everyone out an airlock. Witnesses, you know, McDowell said. Jim clicked twice again. Turn around, Jim. Hide behind that asteroid. Call for help. Order. Jim clicked twice, then signaled all stop to Alex.
Au revoir!
In an instant, the giant sitting on his chest disappeared.